guys, it's Meredith again with Oak Ridge Views. We're bringing out the big guns today, the historic Oak Ridge Military Academy. There's a lot going on at the Military Academy that you might not know about, and it's right in our backyard. So let's go check it out. Hello, Dr. Wilson.
Hey.
Thank you for having us.
Meredith, welcome to Oak Ridge Military Academy. Let's go inside and let me introduce you to someone very special.
Great. Thank you.
Meredith, this is Mr. Jim Savage. He's chairman of our board,
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
And also the curator of our historical museum.
So you're the historian, and we're going to dive into all the history that you have preserved here at the building.
We sure are. Yes, this is our archives and our museum, and we're going to begin in the archives room. And our whole purpose here is to collect and preserve the history of the school, which is about 160-some years old. So there's quite a bit of stuff in here to see, and we're just delighted to have you.
Thank you. So you're the historian here.
This school has meant a lot to me, and this museum is a way that is a way I can give back to the school. And that's why my wife and I chose to take this on after we retired. I came here when I was 13 years old in 1959 and stayed through high school and junior college. The museum we've actually got 4 rooms.
Okay.
And first of all, we're sitting in the archives room, and everything that comes in here is cataloged, numbered, photographed. So we've got a record of everything here, and this is really the workroom. And people can also come in here and research if they want to.
So we're in the first room in the museum. Tell me how it's laid out.
By different eras, and as things basically happened.
Okay.
And after the school was conceived, it got started. Of course, the Civil War came along during that time too.
The centerpiece right here of this cannon, there's got to be some great history on that.
There were originally 2 cannons like this, and they sat out front on each side of the walkway. It's called a Marine cannon.
Well, you've been here so long, 160 plus years. What came first, the town or the military institute?
I think the community came first.
Okay.
Basically, the town grew up around the school. This was kind of the centerpiece, and then it kind of flourished around that. And the growth really didn't start till, I guess, the mid-'80s.
Okay.
During my tenure here, there was nothing here but the school and the elementary school.
Wow.
So you may see 5 cars a day on the Oak Ridge Road out here, and that was it. Oak Ridge was actually conceived in 1850 by a gentleman named Jesse Benbow, who's this gentleman right here. And he took up about $629 from local residents, 43 residents, to create the first educational facility in this community.
Right.
So Mr. Benbow did the collection for the money, and a gentleman by the name of Alan Lowry gave the land for the school.
Okay.
So we started out with, I guess, about 200 acres to begin the school. When the school was first started, the first academic year was 1852.
Wow.
Now, when the school started, it was Oak Ridge Male Institute.
Right.
And by the end of the first academic year, it was changed to Oak Ridge Institute to allow females, and females were here till 1929 when it became Oak Ridge Military Institute.
Right. Great.
This is Mr. Jesse Benbow.
Okay.
He collected the money for the first schoolhouse, and this is Alan Lowry, who gave the land for the school. And this is Dr. Saunders, who was a resident here in the community, and they were the first board of trustees.
Right.
The school got started off good. The only time it's ever closed is during the Civil War. And along about 1875, 2 gentlemen, John Allen Holt and Martin Hicks Holt, brothers, became co-principals of the school. And they would operate the school for the next 39 years. Now, during their tenure here, they built Holt Hall, which is right here, is connected with an arcade to a chapel. And this is a better shot of the chapel right here. Now, this was said to be the most handsome school building in the state of North Carolina. And it was a handsome building. It was destroyed by fire in 1914, which is right here. Right. And you can see John Allen Holt's home, Maple Glade, directly behind that. This is a room that we wanted to create to show the living conditions at least when I was here, this is how I knew it. And of course, the beds, you had to be able to bounce a quarter on that blanket. I don't think you can do it now. But the only time that this room was different is when you're in that bed sleeping or you're over there studying.
Right.
There's an SOP, or a standing operating procedure, that tells you how to fold your underwear, how to fold your towels, your shirts, and how your uniforms are to be arranged.
That's great.
This is our North Carolina room, and it's dedicated to all the military schools that ever existed in the state of North Carolina, which were about 40. Anyhow, this is a collective sample of the schools that existed in the state of North Carolina. And Oak Ridge is the last person standing.
Wow.
And I think it's important to know that why military schools were created in the first place. Created after the Revolutionary War, because the generals and high-ranking officers recognized that there was no leadership in the middle ranks of the Army. So these officers went out and created all these schools. They didn't know boo about education, but they knew how to fight. So the schools that survived, like Oak Ridge, were incorporated with the academic segment, and some of those survived, like Bingham, like Oak Ridge, Horner, Carolina Military Academy, and some of those.
Wow.